Welcome to All Around Music Podcast. I'm Grant.
I'm Matt.
I got my beer cracked. Are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
Nice. Let's do it.
Are you ready? You sounded pretty ready.
I'm pretty ready.
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
I can't explain how happy I am that this week is over with and it's Friday.
It's Friday.
And
Gotta get down on Friday.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Partying, man.
We got some good stuff today. A few different stories, some more strange stuff.
Really strange stuff.
But we're gonna keep it in the music topic. Try to.
Yeah, I struggled. There wasn't much in the news this week for music.
No, and I'm not gonna lie, I just didn't really get a chance to look. Got busy this week with some stuff. I tried finding some stuff today, but kind of went on a topic that you sent me, and I think we'll...
Yeah, I did some digging today.
Good,
I was like, we're getting some topics, darn it. Gotta keep it PG.
Yeah, sorry, Billy. All right, well, what's the first thing you want to go over?
Well, I mean, the first thing I found, these are just headlines. I've got a nice topic for us later.
Okay.
That, Billy gave us in the previous episode.
Yeah.
Kind of went with it and had some fun with it. But the band We Came as Romans.
Yes.
A lot of people are fans of them. Some people may not know them. They're
well,
all right.
They only put out 4 albums.
Right. I mean, it's good tunes, but, it's not something I listen to all the time. But their drummer, Eric Coy, I believe that's how it's pronounced. He announced that he is departing from the band.
See, I thought that they split up.
I thought they did too.
A while ago. So, if you're a super fan.
Yeah, after 10 years with the band, he announced via Facebook and Twitter on Tuesday that he would be moving on to the next chapter of his life.
Well, that makes sense. If they're not putting out music.
Right. Move on.
What's the point of... I don't know.
4 albums in 10 years, that's...
Were they on a label?
Yeah, I know they're on a label. I didn't look up which label, though.
It's kind of odd that they haven't had them put out music.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Usually, if, you've been together for 10 years, you have more than 4 albums.
Well, yeah. I mean, the label would want you to put out albums so you can make some money.
Yeah. But, I mean, they've been touring, so I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they've been touring, but they haven't been putting out new albums?
Right.
Like, what are they playing then? Old stuff? Or are
Yeah.
they just not recording the new stuff?
I don't know. I didn't really...
Yeah, it's...
we got the link for the article.
I didn't know they were touring. So that...
Yeah, but...
that kind of adds another element to it.
Yeah, it says he was the drummer for all 4 albums, so he's been with them from the start.
Yeah.
And but his full statement on his departure, you can read it on Alternative Press. We got the link in the description. I figured that, wasn't something we should be reading. I feel like if, you're a fan or kind of a fan, I figured you'd want to read it yourself, not have somebody else read it to you. I
like only when you read me stories at bedtime. Is really my favorite time to have things read to me.
Like Bernstein Bears?
Don't get me started on Bernstein Bears. Have you heard the conspiracy about the Bernstein Bears?
No.
Oh, man.
Here we go. The episode's going to be crazy.
I'll give you the gist of it.
I think I may have heard something about it, but I don't remember it
it has
fully.
To do with the same things that Mandela effect that I was telling you about. It's the same concept. Do you remember it as Bernstein Bears or Bernstein Bears?
Isn't it spelled the same, though?
It's spelled different. Some people believe that it was spelled one way and pronounced a little bit different than the other way, but all the books are spelled one way, which I think it might not be Bernstein. I can't remember.
We'd so have it's to spelled the same, but it's pronounced differently?
No, it's spelled... Well, people think it was spelled differently and pronounced differently. but it's actually spelled one way. Let me see if I can Google it real quick.
Bernstein.
Bernstein Bear. It ends with Stain.
Stain.
So it'd be more of a Bernstein Bears, wouldn't it?
Bernstein Bears. Okay. Why am I having so much trouble with the B's?
But the whole thing is that people believe that it was pronounced differently. I don't know what the other way was. You see, every time we talk about something, I get onto one of these conspiracies.
Well, we got one of those later.
Yeah, we got other things we can. Oh, here it is. The Bernstein Bear conspiracy, where it's spelled Steain instead of
Stain.
Stain. Yeah. Bernstein Bears is the proper name. Bernstein is how people were saying it was pronounced.
So is it like...
It's not that big of a mistake. So
is it like proper English and simplified English?
Yeah, I think it was just people just pronouncing it wrong. I don't think it was that big of a thing now that I'm looking at it. I think that's just been solved.
So it's kind of like there.
I think it was just maybe people with different dialects saying it differently.
Yeah. Got them Bernstein Bears, man.
Yeah.
No, you imbecile. It's Bernstein.
No.
Hey, man, I'm just lucky I can read.
Yeah. I don't think it's... Now that I'm looking at it, I don't think it's that big of a deal. So anyways.
Me and my wife Charlotte bought all of them on leather bound.
I'm hoping that at this point in the show that people come to listen to the weird conspiracies that we're going to come up with randomly throughout the show.
Well, I mean, we're not going to come up with them.
Well, yeah, but...
It's other people that are the weird people.
So I think just about for the past, 3 episodes...
Yeah, like, we don't mean for it to happen. It just happens.
That's my life outside of this podcast. I listen to conspiracy stuff all day long. I don't even listen to music. I'm not going to lie. I don't listen to music when I'm driving around at work.
You listen to conspiracy theories?
Yes. I listen to podcasts about
What about when you're drinking, like hanging out drinking?
I listen to music.
Okay. Balance it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Go to over your house. You want to drink some garage beers? Yeah, check out this conspiracy theory, though. Yeah, I got to go.
Well, when I'm by myself, nobody else wants to listen to this stuff. My girlfriend doesn't want to listen to it.
Can't blame her.
My friends don't want to drink and listen to that stuff.
Nope.
So the only time I have a chance to listen to it is when I'm by myself at work.
Yeah.
So.
Do you listen to it when you're in the bathroom?
No.
Okay. We should probably
Actually,
leave that there.
That's not true. Personal. I have listened to it while shaving.
Why are you taking so long in the bathroom? I'm almost done.
Because I think Nelson Mandela died in the 1990s.
But in conclusion...
Aliens.
Oh, it's getting good. He said in conclusion.
Anyways.
Speaking of the conspiracy theories...
Yes.
I was on my way reading an article. The headline that I found was Tom DeLonge releases science fiction novel...
Yes.
Titled Strange Times, The Ghost and the Girl.
Yep, he's been putting out a lot of books lately.
I was like, oh, this might be, something. So I was going to talk about that article, but I started reading. Then there was a headline after the first 2 paragraphs that said, Tom DeLonge says he made contact with aliens, is in danger. And I immediately clicked on it.
Obviously.
Clickbait, man. So I started reading that article, and it turns out I was hooked immediately.
Yeah, I was too when I read it.
I was like, this is probably going to be dumb. And I was like, nope.
It was good.
But
there was another one in there on that article that you had to click for another article.
It's an article from last year, but I never heard anything about it. Did you?
No.
Coincidence?
But it makes sense because I think that was when he was working on his book that I have now. That book was released in April of this year. But he was working on a book about UFOs and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense that there's probably something to do with that. But he's been into UFOs he says he's been researching it for 20 years.
Yeah. The article, it gets a little weird.
Yeah.
I mean, after you read the article, whether you believe it or not, and what he says is true or false, either way, Tom DeLonge is in danger.
I listened to the interview where he talks about some guy giving him interview footage or whatever. Was that in that article? Or there's a second article. I'll put that one on there too because there was a link.
Yeah, I didn't see the second link to the.
There was another link in that article that took you.
It's like an article within an article.
Yeah, it took you to another one.
It just goes deeper and deeper.
And it talked about some other that was the one. I think it talks about the footage, the interviews or whatever with people that know about UFOs or something. That's what made him put him in danger or something. Well, there was a link somewhere in one of these articles, I don't remember which one, that actually linked to a interview with him. It was a video interview with I think it was Spaced Out or Spacing Out. I think it was a podcast at one point. I don't know if they still do the shows or not, but they were interviewing him about it's a show about UFOs, aliens, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about it, and it made more sense on what he was saying in there. It was he said he's been researching this stuff for like 20 years, and he realized when he became famous with Blink that he could get a hold of these people. Like he said, he got a hold of this professor that knows a lot of this stuff, and he flew the professor and his kids out to a concert. Mm-hmm. And talked to him about this kind of stuff. And I don't know if that was the same guy or another guy, gave him like 36 hours of interviews, or of some sort of it was supposed to be big deal. People knew stuff.
Right.
And it was like a big deal. This stuff needed to be kept secret. And he gave it to him to hold on to. And Tom's like, I don't know what to do with this. And he's stuck in his house somewhere to hide it.
Yeah, that was in this article.
Yeah, he explained it more. He's
talking about how there's a magnetic slide system for.
Yeah, that article doesn't explain it.
Flight and stuff, and the guy was like, "You need to seriously watch what you're saying."
Yeah, the other interview kind of makes more sense. I'll put the link to that too.
Yeah,
because they talk to him and he says everything and makes more sense.
Something about a magnetic system that transfers the weight of the ship to one side, and
he doesn't talk about that.
Or you can
but he talks about some other stuff, and it's not as confusing as this article.
Right, it got a little creepy.
Yeah,
and when the guy was like, "Yeah, if somebody shows up to your house in a vehicle, don't get in it."
But do you believe him? I don't know.
Exactly,
if he's into it as deep as he says he is.
I mean, if he is, Tom DeLonge's in danger.
Because I listen to these shows about this, the podcast about, these aren't the ancient alien people, these are the guys that really research this stuff.
Yeah, I mean...
And don't make money doing it, they just make their podcast.
Aliens.
They're not that guy, they're not on TV.
That guy's hair is getting crazier and crazier.
Oh, yeah.
It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
But these people, they do have people watching them, so do you...
even being able to manifest thoughts like that, or, to share those experiences, or puts them in the spotlight of real danger from higher authority, or an increasing amount of skepticism that could, possibly drown his career.
He says with that book that I bought, that Secret Machines, it's a fiction book, but it's supposed to be based on stuff that he learned by working with people that have been involved with the real stuff. And I don't know. Some people believe him, some people don't, that he's done that stuff.
What about the band he had, Angels and Airwaves?
What
was the purpose of that band?
He's still doing that.
Really?
Yeah, he's just not doing Blink anymore.
Everybody's like,
I'm pretty sure
it's good, but nobody really likes it,
I never was into it.
I've heard a few songs, and I'm just like, I can, not something I have to live with.
I think he's still doing it.
Is he?
I think he's still doing that, but he's not doing Blink.
How dare he?
I know. I'm not happy about it. That I could just...
Yeah.
I could punch him.
Punch-size his face.
It's not Blink-182 anymore.
Right. No.
You can't lose 1/3 of your band.
Do you think people felt the same way, though, when the original drummer left?
No, because they weren't... I don't know, maybe. I guess maybe people... I can't imagine... They didn't have the fan base they do now, I guess, but maybe there were people that felt that way. But Travis is better.
Well, yeah, obviously.
So get over it.
But
This
if there's
guy,
those people that were like, no, that drummer's better, and has not listened to him
Well,
since. Wouldn't that be crazy?
they're probably like 45 years old by now because that was like the early 90s.
Stupid kids. Pac-Man video games.
I don't. The new guy just isn't Tom.
Macaroni ears. Yeah. Blink will never be the same.
No, maybe he'll come back one day
Maybe.
after he finds that
But I
aliens.
think if he comes back, he's going to be like really screwed up in the head.
Maybe-
Hey, man, let's write this song about aliens.
Maybe the government will give him a lobotomy, and he'll just go back to being good old Tom.
Be like, we're going to take everything that you know about UFOs and get it out of there, and you're going to go back to playing music.
Yeah,
No, man, I'm not. And then all of a sudden, he's playing music.
I might do that to him.
Well, I don't think you could get away with that. You're not the government.
Or am
Truth is out there.
I?
I think we should move on. This is getting weird. But there's the links, you know.
Yeah,
We got the original link on there.
I
and
got
there's
the
the
other
other
ones. Yeah, I'll put those on there.
Link within a link within a link.
It's some fun stuff to listen to him talk about it. It's kind of funny.
Literally articles chain linked
And
together.
if you've ever listened to Tom talk, it's like, yeah, man, like,
It's kind of out there.
yeah. So it's always fun to listen to him talk about stuff.
Another article that I found. This is something we could probably talk a lot about. The headline reads, independent musicians face significant challenges with business communication, study says.
What do they mean by that? Like they have trouble negotiating business deals?
Yeah. Like negotiating with venues and...
Isn't that like always been the problem with artists? Isn't that why
always.
they have agents and...
Yeah, that's exactly why they have,
So why is
booking
it-
agents
what-
and publicists and...
So what are they getting at then? Like
They're talking about like
they're trying
smaller bands, trying to make it. But I mean, the article is kind of like one of those, yeah, we know.
yeah, maybe it's because now with the internet, there's a lot of musicians that are getting big, but they're independent still.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that's what they mean because there's, now you can go viral. You can just, you can make a video one day at your house, you can go viral, and then you're going to get all these, hey, I want you to do this or that, or I'll pay you this and that, but you don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And you think you can do it, but you probably can't.
It wasn't a long article. It was basically just a short article on the mountains that musicians have to climb to find recognition and gain a fan base.
Well, the part that sucks is if you're a talented musician, maybe you'll get discovered before you're famous on the internet or something, but there's always somebody trying to take advantage of them.
Right.
You're some kid that is good at playing guitar or something, but you don't know anything else. You're always getting taken advantage of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my opinion though, that was the best part of being in a band.
What? Talking the venues and stuff?
Well, yeah, you building those relationships and
Well, yeah, but
learning and
it's
it's
hard.
different now because you can just post a video on YouTube and be like, oh, maybe in like 5 years I'll get famous.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll get famous overnight, which very rarely does that happen.
Yeah.
But it's a different game now than, when I was doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when we were doing it, the internet, it was there, but it wasn't what it is now.
YouTube wasn't as big.
Right.
Things like that.
Facebook wasn't a thing. It was MySpace. And
Yeah.
everybody, check out my MySpace page layout.
Well, you could put your own music on MySpace too.
Yeah, but I was poor. I didn't even have a computer.
Yeah.
I was using other people's computers. And that's when a lot of things didn't rely on social media or the internet. Like, you called people.
Yeah.
People now are like, ew, who calls people?
Ugh, email me.
Yeah.
And then they ignore it.
Yeah. I don't even call my doctor. I just like internet.
Doctor, I have issues.
My foot is sideways. What do I do?
Send. 3 weeks later, go to the emergency room.
Glad he emailed me back.
It's turning green. Now what do I do?
Reply, no worries, it fell off itself. Send.
4 weeks later, oh, good. You're good.
Yeah. It's just stuff like that. Well, eventually, internet started picking up, and the email thing was starting to become a thing, and like it was already a thing. People emailed, but not like people use it today.
Yeah, I prefer that if I'm at work and you're trying to contact me, email me because then I don't have to talk to you.
Yeah. And you can do it on the go.
Yeah. But my favorite is when, like, people want to talk to me.
Call you, hey, what are you doing? Well, I was sitting here not talking to anyone.
You can email me.
Hang up the phone and email me. Text me.
No, don't text me. I don't like when customers text me.
Well, no, not customers.
They get my phone number sometimes, somehow, magically.
Like, I don't call you, I just text you.
Yeah, don't call me.
One time I accidentally called you, and I was like, I didn't mean to do that.
This is weird.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, don't call me. Don't text me.
But there are people that
Just
prefer
don't talk to me.
to talk on the phone or face to face. But if it's business, it should be over the phone or face to face.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want your band to work,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're in a band and you want it to work, it's not going to happen overnight.
No, definitely not.
It takes a lot of work. And everyone in the band has to be on board with, the costs, the time, and the effort, or it'll never work, ever.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot involved.
Yeah, you can't.
It's a business. I mean, it's a business. I don't care how much.
Yeah.
How much you enjoy playing music. It's a business.
Yeah.
So you got to run it like a business.
Yeah, you got to pay for things.
You got to put money into it, and you got to.
If you want your music to be heard, yeah, you can go play shows, but if it's a local show, most of the time, it's 50 people. Usually, maybe if that.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, 50 people will show up to that tiny ass coffee shop you crammed all your equipment into.
Yeah. It's tough.
It is, especially around Lafayette. I mean, I know a ton of musicians. It's just.
Well, and it's still even on the internet. It's probably even more tough there.
Yeah, you get a lot more criticism immediately.
Well, you don't even get looked at by
people. Like
99% of the people aren't even
scrolling.
Yeah, aren't even going to look at you.
No.
So, how do you get somebody's attention?
Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, how do you?
You got to keep going.
How do you get somebody to listen to your music?
All that the money you pay to get these little demos recorded, or whatever. Like when we did ours, yeah, we dropped a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And we were trying to charge, like $1 for them. Nobody was even going to pay $1. So we're like, screw it. Let's just hand them out for free.
Yeah.
And people really enjoyed that, which who wouldn't, it's free.
Yeah.
But we paid the ultimate cost.
Right.
Because, we didn't get anything in return. And once a band loses that momentum and the confidence, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's it. So, I mean, if you see that from the get-go.
Yeah. You got to really want it.
Yeah. Especially nowadays.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
like, I'm almost 30. If I try to start a band, that'd probably be the dumbest thing I'd try to do in my life right now.
Well, it depends on what you're trying to do with it.
Right. But
for fun is one thing. You're just trying to just play for fun.
If I could get together with other seasoned musicians, it would probably be a lot easier.
Even there's local bands that play for fun around town locally at bars and stuff. You make a little bit of money.
Right.
But it's mostly for fun. They're probably
making the money is just an added bonus.
Yeah,
It really is.
That's what I think a lot of the musicians maybe are around here. You see playing at bars and stuff.
Yeah, they're just doing it for fun, but if they can make some cash,
They make
cool.
a couple $100, but they got to split it between 3 to 5 people.
It's like not one person's getting that couple $100 a piece.
But this isn't what they do for a living most of the time.
Right.
I mean, maybe some of them younger kids, maybe that's what they're doing to make their money for band equipment.
Well, good luck, because it's expensive.
Yeah, that's what's nice.
I bought a half stack once, and I still have it, and it still works.
Yeah,
I bought that back in 2006.
You don't get rid of that.
No, still works.
Yeah, I don't know. There's really no.
Thing was $1,200. It still works.
There's no surefire way to become a famous musician.
Right.
There's absolutely no do this and you're famous thing.
Yeah. It's if you're in the right place at the right time, or if you're promoting well.
Or if you know, unless you know somebody.
Sometimes people know somebody, word of mouth travels, but you just got to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep playing. You got to keep writing. Got to keep going, because it's not going to happen overnight.
Keep on keeping on.
That's the thing. A lot of people want things to happen like.
Oh, I know.
They want it to happen now. Like, I put effort in, it needs to happen now.
I'm not sure why our podcast isn't #1 in the world right now. We made it.
We got to keep going.
We made it, though. We made the podcast.
Right.
So why isn't it #1?
Same thing. Not going to happen overnight.
Dang. Maybe I'll title this episode #1 podcast worldwide.
Put a bunch of hashtags in it.
Yeah.
Like hashtag Justin Bieber and...
Ugh.
No, don't hashtag the Biebs.
Yeah. Well,
Canada will be like, you can't do that, eh? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like Bieber.
Don't like the Biebs?
No.
Why?
I don't like his music. I don't like his attitude.
I don't like his stupid tattoos.
Yeah, I don't like his face. A lot of reasons I don't like the Biebs. So, anyways.
Yeah.
You got
the point of that is you're not going to get famous overnight.
You're probably never going to be famous.
Yeah. What you got?
Well, you got this next little topic on your Harambe themed file you sent me.
Well, I had to freshen it up because the last one was Get Lit, fam.
So every time Matt makes a Word document outlining what he wants to talk about on the show this week, every week, he references some sort of meme, usually, in the title.
Grabs your attention.
In the email title.
Oh, you got all of them right there?
I don't have them all right here, but this one, I'm not going to even say.
You can say it, but you can just bleep yourself later.
Nah, I'm not going to do that. The last one was like Get Lit Fam, and then there was 420 YOLO swag. And
yeah, who's not going to click on that? So I think we should get into the, I guess, the main topic for podcast. Couldn't think of the word.
Spit it out.
The podcast.
Yeah.
It was an idea that Billy mentioned last week, with me being such a movie buff.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about soundtracks.
Yeah.
So I was doing some digging on Rolling Stone to see what they considered, the best soundtracks, and their list was a top 25. I was just trying to get, just top 5. So I just used their 5 through 1, and I was going to keep it there. But then I was like, I'm going to list my top 5 soundtracks that I think are in the top 5.
That makes sense.
Also, I have excluded soundtrack albums that consist of music that was performed in the movie by the actors.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, like The Bodyguard or Across the Universe. This is Spinal Tap, stuff like that.
Because Spinal Tap would win every time.
Well, duh. That'd be 1 through 5. So, number 5, I have Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
You've seen Boogie Nights?
Yes.
Came out in 97.
Great movie.
Has Mark Wahlberg and Julianne Moore and the great Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Well, and many more. Like Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it. Like a whole bunch of, William H. Macy. A bunch of people.
Pretty big movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Great movie. Won't get into what it's about, but...
Dirk Diggler.
Enough said. The soundtrack includes music from The Emotions, Marvin Gaye, Night Ranger, Electric Light Orchestra, and the Beach Boys. I mean, there's other people on there, but those were the notable ones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, great soundtrack, great movie, great actors.
Yeah. I was going to say Marky Mark's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, he's getting up there for me.
I think it's because we resemble each other so much.
You guys get confused all the time?
Yeah, people confuse me for Mark Wahlberg
and they
quite
confuse
often.
him for Grant Rose?
Yeah, I'm just so buff and cool, like...
And,
and from
awesome.
Boston.
Yeah. Wait, you're from Boston?
Yeah.
Sure.
I lost the accent.
Yeah, I was born there, but...
Yeah. I'm the long-lost Wahlberg brother.
Grant Wahlberg.
and I'm cooler than Donnie, damn it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Do you know he was in those Saw movies? Mm-hmm. Donnie Wahlberg?
Mm-hmm. It's like the biggest thing he's ever been in, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. He's got a TV show, though.
I saw him in one thing a few weeks ago. I was like, is that Donnie Wahlberg?
You know what he went and did?
I'm going to turn this movie off.
You want to know what he went and did?
It's hard telling.
He married that crazy lady.
She's so crazy, you
what
forgot
is
her name.
She's the one that's against vaccines. You don't remember? Wow, I went and did this.
It's not Gwyneth Paltrow, is it?
No.
Because she's kind of crazy.
Wow, I cannot remember her name now. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Look it up.
How are we going to look it up if we don't...
Look up who Donnie Wahlberg married.
Oh.
I can look it up.
Well, I mean, you got the internet at your hands.
God dang it.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll get into number 4, which this is actually one of my favorite movies because the soundtrack goes so well with what you're visually seeing in the movie and what the character's going through. Number 4 for me would be Into the Wild.
Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, yeah, she's crazy.
Yeah.
Don't vaccinate.
Yeah.
All right, just go die in the corner then. Into the Wild. It came out in 2007.
I haven't seen that.
Seven. I can't talk. 2007.
Schmavin?
Schmavin.
You over there plinking your beer can. I thought you were playing a video game.
That would be quite the skill if I could do both at the same time.
It was making a weird, I
was playing Tetris.
Sound. It was making a weird sound.
The movie features, I can never say this guy's name right. Is it Emil Hirsch or is it Emily Hirsch? Because why would you name a dude Emily?
Probably Emil.
That's what I was thinking. Emil Hirsch and Vince Vaughn.
Huh. I haven't seen it.
But this is a unique thing about the soundtrack. Every song on the soundtrack is performed by Eddie Vedder.
That's weird.
If you don't know who that is, he's the front man of Pearl Jam. And it's beautiful.
That's odd.
Yeah, it's awesome. First time I saw that movie, I got hammered one night. I was just pounding beers, and I was like, this is amazing. But yeah, if you haven't seen Into the Wild,
I have not.
Check it out. Really good.
I will.
Really good.
You got some movies sitting over here that I want to borrow.
Go for it. Wait, the one's right there?
Well.
Because some of those I haven't watched yet.
Fine. How about Preacher?
I just got that. I haven't watched that yet.
How about Argo?
I haven't watched that yet either, but you can borrow it. I've had that movie for like 6 months.
It don't matter. I don't have to borrow them.
We could talk about that later. Number 3 for me would be the soundtrack for Forrest Gump.
Great movie.
Yeah. I mean, came out in 94. How many times I've seen that movie? I watched that movie when I was a kid and had no idea what it was about.
Oh, I know. But
I kept watching it and watching it.
You should keep finding things in the movie, though.
Yeah.
If you keep watching it, you keep finding stuff in it. It never gets old.
No.
It's a classic.
And if you haven't seen Forrest Gump, what are you doing?
You just stop listening to us and go watch it.
Just stop right now and go watch it.
I don't care what you're doing.
It's Tom Hanks.
Yes.
I've never seen a bad Tom Hanks movie.
True.
Even Castaway. I didn't think that was bad. A lot of people hated it, but I thought it was good.
I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was...
Well said!
It was okay.
My name's Voight. But yeah, it features Tom Hanks, Sally Field, and Gary Sneeze.
Sneeze.
Mary Sneeze. Nelly Hanks. Soundtrack includes music from Elvis Presley, Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson, Scott McKenzie, and more.
Pretty much everything good.
Yeah. You know, it takes place around the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the story, so that's where most of that music comes from.
If you haven't seen that movie...
Yeah, please, if you have not seen that movie, whatever you're doing, just go home and watch it.
Yeah.
It's probably like $3 in the
job
bin at Walmart or
quit
the gas
your job
station.
and go home and watch it.
Well, maybe not quit the job, but yeah, quit the job. Number 2 on my top 5 soundtracks would be Top Gun. Came out in 1986.
Top Gun.
And if you haven't seen that one either, I've lost faith in all humanity.
Quit your job.
Yeah, definitely quit your job now.
Watch Forrest Gump. Watch Top Gun. And then watch Boogie Nights.
Watch all these movies that are on here. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it has Tom Cruise, Tim Robbins, and Kelly McGillis in it. She was a babe back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, she was.
Came out in 86, and I wasn't even born yet.
Nope.
I was born a year later.
Old Tom Cruise. Back when Tom Cruise wasn't crazy.
He still looks young. I don't get it.
It's Scientology.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Lizard King's going to come down and save everyone.
Don't talk bad about Scientology, bud. They'll sue us.
Well, we're probably going to get sued anyways, but...
I hope so. That's how you know you made it.
Yeah. The soundtrack includes music from the great Kenny Loggins.
Danger Zone. That is... Okay.
Yeah, that song's on there.
That is the key to the entire movie.
Yeah.
That movie would not be as great as it is if Danger Zone was not in the movie. If they would have left, if they would have chose any other song.
Any other song by Kenny Loggins? Or
Did Kenny Loggins make that? He made that for the movie, didn't he?
I think so.
I mean, that makes the movie.
He has a lot of good songs, actually.
Made that movie.
You ever heard the Kenny Loggins Greatest Hits album?
No.
Oh, it's amazing.
I'll have to talk to Archer about that one.
Yeah. Also has Cheap Trick on there.
Yeah.
Berlin, you know, the Take My Breath Away.
Yeah.
Otis Redding, sitting on the dock of the bay.
What's the Great Balls of Fire song?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Is that Jerry Lee Lewis?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Righteous Brothers are on there. You know,
It is a great, and I'm thinking that's
You Lost That Love and Feeling.
It's a great soundtrack.
It is. Great movie, too.
It's a great.
It's even better in 3D.
I wish I had a 3D TV.
I do.
And I
have Top Gun in 3D.
Let's stop the podcast
and watch it.
and watch that in 3D.
It's awesome. It really is.
I'm just gonna watch Top Gun. I think I'm gonna go home and watch all these movies.
Yeah, we're just gonna have Top Gun blaring in the background from now on.
I wouldn't be mad. Not one bit.
You're writing checks your attitude can't cash.
We did it inverted.
Yeah. See, we were inverted, and then we gave him the bird.
That was some recent joke.
Was it?
My brother was telling me about it. It was, I don't know where it came from, but he goes, "Yeah, we did it inverted." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
And naturally, anybody be like Top Gun.
Sometimes I think my brother's like 3 years behind on most things.
Could be,
but he got me on this one. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it's...
Could be like my brother. My brother had an iPhone 3GS and then went from that to an iPhone 6.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this was a thing in the fireman land that he lives in.
Firemen have land?
They have vast land. But he was telling me, he goes, we did it.
Is it on fire?
He kept going, we did it.
That'd be ironic.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? What is inverted right now? And he goes,
my life.
He's from Top Gun. He's from Top Gun. And he showed me the clip. I'm like, okay, why is this a thing right now? And he goes, it just is. I'm like, I haven't heard this. I don't.
Because society's inverted right now.
I don't know where he got this from. But he did it inverted.
And number one, I don't have to go number one.
No, go ahead. Go number one.
Number one on my list is it's a very popular soundtrack that everybody loves, and it's the soundtrack from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that was like a plot point, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a plot point, but the soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I can't wait for the second movie.
Yeah. A lot of the movies I was talking about came out, over 10 years ago. This one came out in 2014.
It's been that long?
Yeah.
Goodness.
It has Chris Pratt, Vin Diesel, and Bradley Cooper,
I do have
among
that.
others.
I have that movie at home. I will watch that tonight, actually, I think.
Great movie.
Yeah.
I just watched it a couple weeks ago.
I've only watched it once.
Yeah?
I need to watch it again.
I've watched it several times, but
I need to. It's on my.
I don't have a life, so
it's on my iTunes on my laptop, so it's not like something that I notice that I have all the time.
Soundtrack includes music from Blue Suede, the late great David Bowie, Jackson 5, Redbone, The Runaways, and many, many more. But Boogie Nights number 5, Into the Wild number 4, Forrest Gump number 3, Top Gun number 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy number 1. For me, those are my top 5.
Yeah, I wish I couldn't think of a good one in time for the podcast, but I did bring up something while we took a little break that I remember that I had at home. My dad gave me a bunch of his old vinyl records.
Yeah.
And he gave, and among those records was the Rain Man soundtrack.
Yeah, we listened to that on the break, and
I don't know why he bought this record.
Yeah, for those that don't know Grant's dad is kind of a hard ass.
Yeah.
Might be a hitman, I'm not for sure still.
If he ever dies, it'll surprise me.
Well, the music on the soundtrack doesn't match your father's personality.
No, because like the other records I got from him, well, actually, really, the records.
Maybe it was given to him.
There was a weird
gift.
It was opened, but it wasn't very.
Who doesn't
used.
Open a gift?
It was very slightly like it looks brand new.
Yeah, so he probably listened to one song and was like, no.
Yeah, because it looks like the cover is just pristine. If it were a record that was worth anything, it would be like worth the top. But it's the Rain Man soundtrack.
How much would you give me for the soundtrack?
$1.
You have to pay me to hold it.
Because like compared to the Boston record that came in those group of records, the Boston. It's the Boston record with More Than a Feeling on it. I can't remember the name of the album, but that's the album that it is.
Yeah, I know which album you're talking about. Has like all the weird colors on the front.
Yeah, it looks like a spaceship on the front or something.
Yeah.
And that thing is worn out.
Well, why wouldn't it be? That thing shouldn't even work.
But it still sounds good.
That thing should have been listened to so much, it doesn't even work.
I listen to it a lot, and I love it. And there's something about listening to that old record. I think it's more of a personal thing that I know that was my dad's record.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably put that thing on and just slammed some Miller Lights back in the day. Actually, probably PBR.
PBR? Yeah.
Because
PBR back in the day was the go-to.
Yeah, well, I found some old yearbooks of his.
PBR and the P-Funks, Parliament cigarettes.
He was known for his PBR, I guess, back in the day.
Yeah. He was known for his PBR.
Yeah, it was in his yearbook, his high school yearbook.
What?
Something about drinking PBR with him, I read one time. But I was just... Imagine my dad putting on that Boston record, cranking that bitch up, and cracking a PBR.
This is my music.
There's something about that old record, though. That I will never get rid of that thing.
You think your dad was so awesome that he was just sponsored by PBR?
Probably.
Makes sense.
I wouldn't doubt it.
That guy's probably going to be 103 years old, and he's still going to scare me.
Yeah. Probably.
He'll outlive us.
He's mostly bionic at this point, so he might.
Yeah. He's got that robot knee.
And back.
Oh, he's got a new back now?
He's had the back. The knee's the new thing.
Ah.
Yeah. But there's something, I guess there's something about taking an old record, and it means more to me, I guess, coming from my father, but getting that old, I try not to be a hipster. I don't think I'm anywhere near a hipster.
No.
But I agree with the vinyl thing. I love vinyl. But I don't go out and I've bought a couple in my life, but mostly all the ones that I have were the hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
And there's something about grabbing that old record that's been worn out like that, but it still sounds good. The record still sounds good. But the case is just, you can tell it's just been used.
Right.
And putting that thing on and cranking it up and listening to that record, there's something about that.
You also got another pretty good one in that mix, didn't you?
The Hall & Oates record.
Oh, that's what we're talking about. There we go.
That one I don't think he listened too much either, because it looks brand new.
Well, Hall & Oates. That's where it's at.
It's not, I didn't realize
Don't get me wrong, I love Boston, but Hall & Oates is awesome.
I had that record. I've had him for a while, and I didn't realize.
You got a Toto one too, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize some of the songs were on these records.
Yeah. Because
I never really listened to them that much. And then one night I was going through them, we were talking about Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
I think that night. And I'm like, I got one at home. I got home, I was messing with my records.
Sometimes I get drunk and start talking about Hall & Oates.
Well, I went home, and I'm like, I got a Hall & Oates record, and I pulled it out, and it's got Maneater on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't even know it.
Whoa, here she comes.
And I was like, oh, man. She's a Maneater.
Yeah. It's a Maneater.
But then that Toto one, is it Toto? It's the Rains in Africa.
Oh, yeah.
That song's on there. I got that record. Got a couple other ones. I got the Mamas and Papas.
Oh, yeah.
There's some other ones. There's some good ones, though. I mean,
have you seen that movie, She's Out of My League?
Yeah.
Where TJ Miller has the Hall & Oates cover band. Good stuff.
Yeah, I need to watch that again. It's some movies I need to watch.
Well, there is more to that soundtrack list. I also did, the Rolling Stone, what they consider the top 5. I can just go through them really quick. I didn't think
it was really fair because we'll go through them and then we'll talk about it.
Well, yeah, like there's 3 on here that I didn't think were fair. And they all range from 1964 to 1984. So
I mean, that's okay, but it's the ones that I don't agree with the list.
Well, number 5 would be from the movie Saturday Night Fever, which I've never seen it. I didn't really do much to these, because these are according to them. I got into mine why they were, top 5 for me. Mm-hmm. Number 4 for them is Hard Day's Night. Came out in 1964. And the reason why I think this one's unfair is because it's a Beatles album. The Hard Day's Night was kind of it was a Beatles movie, and all the music in that was from their album. Yeah.
See, I don't think if you're gonna do if you're gonna do this, you shouldn't use movies that were made for the music,
right?
Or whatever. That's not what the point.
That's how I made my list. The
music
actors or artists being like in the movie and then performing that song in the movie, and then that's on the soundtrack.
Like the Beatles ones. That's the only reason they made the movies was because of the music. It's great music. Don't get me wrong. I mean, those are some great albums. Beatles. Yeah, but
I'm not saying it's bad music. I'm just saying it was a little unfair.
But it's not. That shouldn't be on a soundtrack list. It should be.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a good movie, but it usually is when you have a good soundtrack, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure there's exceptions out there. But the music should add to the movie, but not be what the movie's about.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
At that point, it's like, it's a musical,
Yeah. It's a musical. Exactly. Yeah.
Number 3 is The Harder They Come. Came out in 1972.
I don't know what that is.
I didn't really look into it.
Yeah, I don't know. I never heard of it. It's not Top Gun.
No. No. Number 2 is Purple Rain, which...
Great.
Yeah.
But still a musical.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's kind of unfair that it's on the list.
Yeah. They didn't pick movies. They picked musicals.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Well, if you look at the whole list, there actually is soundtrack albums on there. Like
okay.
Goodfellas was one of them.
But this is their top 5.
Yeah, this is this is Rolling Stone's top 5.
That makes sense, I guess.
Out of the 25 that they put together. Number 1 is Help, came out in 1965. Again, another Beatles, movie thing. I did read into this one a little bit. What makes it interesting is that album was only available in the UK.
Oh, really?
And it wasn't until, I think it said 20 years later, that it wasn't available in the US.
The album?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's crazy.
That's a good
20 years later, though? So that would have been available in 85 here in America?
Really? I didn't know that. Like, not the movie, the album.
Yeah, the album.
Huh. I never knew that. That's interesting. It's a good album.
Yeah. Help. Help!
That's not exactly how they say it.
Yeah, it's just help with an exclamation point.
But
Could be like, help.
Oh.
Help.
I love the Beatles, though.
Oh, yeah. How can you not?
I don't know. I've heard people tell me they don't like the Beatles, and
People like, what sucked back then still sucks now.
I don't talk to those people.
Yeah. You got people in your life like that, you just get them out.
They don't understand what the Beatles did.
You don't need that kind of negativity.
The Beatles...
Ain't nobody got time for that.
They changed the world. They literally changed the world.
Yeah, they did.
There's very few anything that have done that in our lifetime.
I mean,
not in our lifetime, but I guess in our modern...
It is obvious that if the Beatles didn't make music would be completely different now.
Yeah. Hands
down,
Some people say, I don't like the Beatles. That's okay. I guess it's okay to not really be into their music, but don't tell me that you hate the Beatles.
Yeah, you can't say the Beatles suck.
Yes. Don't ever.
You saying the Beatles suck, that is the most ignorant thing I would ever hear.
Yes. They're
That'd be like saying Denzel Washington sucks, which we all know is false.
It's like saying you don't like to listen to why do I keep starting things and can't finish them?
Do you have commitment issues?
I do, apparently. Oh, dang it.
Go on.
Who's the guy from Shawshank Redemption?
Morgan Freeman?
Yes. I was going to say, it's like trying to say you don't like to listen to Morgan Freeman narrate something for you.
Yeah, how could you not?
But I ruined the entire thing.
When he talks, you listen.
By not being able to remember his name. And at that point, I think it's probably time to wrap it up.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think you're going to remember anything else.
No. It's going to be real hard for me to spit out the Twitter handle and our email address.
Well, it's all right, because I wrote them down this time.
You got them? All right.
I got them. So, if you want to check us out online anywhere, or if you want to email us, you can email us at aampodcast@gmail.com.
Yes. I love emails.
We're on Facebook. You love emails?
I love emails.
I love mail. We're on Facebook as well. We have a Facebook page, All Around Music.
Mm-hmm.
We're also on Twitter at All AM Podcast.
Yes.
We're
on iTunes,
Google Play,
Stitcher, and we're working on YouTube.
Yeah, got that in the works.
So we should be on. I want to say we'll be on YouTube by the time you hear this. I'm going to try and work on it this weekend.
It's kind of being a pain, but
yeah,
we'll get it.
But we're getting there.
More ways for you to listen.
Yes.
That's the key.
That is the key.
And the goal.
Yes. And always, leave us a review on one of these many social media and other things.
Yeah. If you want to, talk to us, hit us up on Twitter, or
if you
send us an email, or
email us your complaints so that we don't have to read them.
But I thought you liked emails.
I do. I'll read them, but I might not respond to your complaints.
Well, I don't think you should respond to a complaint.
I might get heated and argumentative about it.
Don't email them on Mondays.
No, I appreciate any feedback.
Yeah, any feedback is greatly appreciated. Let us know.
Even if you're wrong.
Yeah. Well, let us know if you want to, if you want us to talk about something. Let us know if, we're doing something that just sucks.
Let us know if you make music and you want to put it on the show.
Let us know if you want to talk on the show. We can do phone calls.
Yeah.
You can come in.
Yeah.
Any way we can communicate. You can be on the show.
You can try smoke signals.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of in a valley around a lot of trees. I don't know if I'll see it.
Can't promise I know how to read them, but you can send them.
Huh, there's smoke in the sky.
Just don't set Matt's cat on fire.
Yeah, don't do that. I don't know why that came up, but...
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah, what he said.
Bye.